Charlie Chaplin pursued secret relationships with girls far younger than himself, or Roscoe "Fatty" Arbuckle was almost charged as a criminal when rumors about him abused younger actress back in the day. These are just couple dark secrets that the old Hollywood system tried to hide from the fans so they could protect the empire glamorous of golden era of old Hollywood. They tried to make us believe that Hollywood was about famous people with golden hearts, but in fact that were not what the reality was. Let's dive into it. Roscoe "Fatty" Arbuckle and the Silent Era Reckoning. Roscoe "Fatty" Arbuckle was a comedic sensation in the 1910s and early 1920s. Known for his round frame and boyish warmth, he enthralled audiences with slapstick antics. Prohibition-era Hollywood provided the backdrop for boisterous private gatherings. And in 1921, Arbuckle hosted one such party at the St. Francis Hotel in San Francisco. Actress Virginia Raft fell gravely ill during the festivities and died shortly after. Newspapers clamored for shocking details, accusing Arbuckle of harming her. He stood trial for manslaughter 3 times. Although eventually acquitted, the public saw him as guilty. The outcry was deafening, with theaters pulling his films. Hollywood's swift rejection illustrated how quickly a beloved star could be discarded to protect the industry's overall image. Studios ramped up crisis management measures, preparing for future celebrity problems. Arbuckle's career effectively ended, leaving him as a cautionary tale of how moral outrage, combined with sensationalist media, could bring down even the biggest names. Next, we got Charlie Chaplin. Genius clouded by controversy. Charlie Chaplin remains an immortal figure in film, celebrated for the tramp character that captivated global audiences. But Chaplin's personal life generated non-stop headlines. He married women significantly younger than himself. One was said to be 16 to his mid-30s. That alone raised eyebrows, but he also lost a high-profile paternity case, costing him financially and stirring public doubt. On top of these personal entanglements, Chaplin earned suspicion from J. Edgar Hoover's FBI for perceived communist sympathies. In an era brimming with anti-communist fervor, that was a dangerous label. Finally, tired of scrutiny, Chaplin departed the United States for Switzerland. Critics remain divided. Some see him as an unjustly persecuted auteur, while others believe he exploited his stardom to sidestep serious accountability. His tale underscores how genius can be overshadowed by rumored misconduct, with or without legal proof. Mabel Normand and the Shadow of Murder. Mabel Normand shone as a silent-era comedian, collaborating with Charlie Chaplin and Roscoe Arbuckle. Her cheerful on-screen presence brought her widespread admiration. But in 1922, she was drawn into a notorious murder investigation. Director William Desmond Taylor was found shot in his home, and Normand, one of the last people to see him alive, quickly became a figure of speculation. Rumors circulated that she had knowledge of his killer or that she was entangled in drug or financial conflicts. No charges were filed, yet the stigma never left. Gossip columns ate up stories of dangerous Hollywood parties, painting Normand as a troubled starlet. Under immense pressure, studios cut back her roles, and her popularity plummeted. The persistent aura of scandal showed how even an actress hailed for comedic skill could be demonized by a single high-profile tragedy. Mary Miles Minter and the fallout of adolescent fame. Mary Miles Minter was crafted into a doe-eyed star by her mother, Charlotte Shelby. She starred in sentimental dramas and attracted devoted fans. That picture-perfect innocence shattered when her name was attached to the same William Desmond Taylor murder case. Investigators found letters hinting at a deep infatuation between Minter and the much older Taylor. Some speculated that Minter's mother acted violently to protect her underage daughter's reputation. Though never proven, these rumors undermined Minter's appeal. Once overshadowed by accusations of wrongdoing, she discovered how quickly Hollywood replaced tarnished faces with fresh talent. She soon vanished from the limelight. Another reminder that the film industry thrived on carefully curated wholesomeness, up until a scandal got in the way. Errol Flynn, heroic swashbuckler, scandalous reputation. Errol Flynn, the ultimate on-screen rogue from classics like Captain Blood and The Adventures of Robin Hood, was hailed for his magnetic smile and swashbuckling flair. Yet off-camera, Flynn threw himself into a whirl of wild parties and romances. In 1942, two teenage girls accused him of serious misconduct. He was acquitted in court, but the tabloids had a field day. The phrase "in like Flynn" gained a darker undertone, alluding to rumors he could wriggle out of dire legal traps. Even after the verdict, whispers lingered that Flynn favored extremely young companions and hosted debauched yacht gatherings. Some fans dismissed the allegations as profiteering attempts to smear a famous actor. Others felt he'd escaped justice. Either way, the scandal showcased Hollywood's capacity to rally around a lucrative star. PR teams rebranded him as a charming rebel, revealing how far studios would go to salvage a box office favorite despite incriminating headlines. Wallace Beery and the Ted Healy mystery. Wallace Beery won over moviegoers with curmudgeonly yet likable roles in The Champ and Grand Hotel. Off-screen, colleagues described him as gruff, and some labeled him a bully. The gravest allegations involved the 1937 death of comedian Ted Healy, who had a formative role in creating the Three Stooges. Healy died after a reported brawl. While the official cause was linked to alcohol and other factors, rumor insisted multiple men beat him that night, and some claim Beery was involved. No trial materialized, fueling speculation about a studio cover-up. If indeed MGM paid off witnesses, it demonstrated the might of Hollywood's damage control apparatus. Whether Beery was innocent or complicit remains unknown. What lingers is the sense that Tinseltown was adept at shaping or suppressing public narratives. Many such mysteries stood on half-truths, overshadowed by the sheer money and influence studios possessed. George Raft, gangster roles and underworld whispers. George Raft achieved stardom portraying sharp-dressed criminals in Scarface, 1932, and other classics. Off-screen, tales circulated that Raft didn't just play gangsters, he knew them. Born in New York's Hell's Kitchen, he had ties to the underworld that extended into his Hollywood years. Rumors said he resolved club disputes, handled gambling debts, and cozied up to mob kingpins. Though never officially charged, Raft's image was defined by those shady associations. Some peers found him generous, others kept their distance, worried about potential backlash. For studios, it was a balancing act. Gangster roles suited his background, but real connections to organized crime could bring unwanted legal attention. Raft's story blurs the lines between a cinematic persona and genuine underworld links, illustrating how art and life could intertwine for thrilling yet risky results. Gary Cooper, a reluctant ally of HUAC. Gary Cooper stood for traditional American heroism with performances in High Noon, 1952, and Sergeant York, 1941. Soft-spoken and seen as morally upright, Cooper surprised many by also appearing before HUAC. Though less aggressive than Menjou or Taylor, he still mentioned scripts containing red themes, effectively endorsing further investigations. Fans were distraught to see their squeaky clean idol lending any support to the blacklisting process. Cooper's defenders claimed he only aimed to protect the film industry from potential subversion. Others viewed him as another figure overshadowed by fear. The controversy tarnished his unassailable aura. His testimony demonstrated how even a mild statement could stoke the fires of paranoia, resulting in innocent people losing their chance to work in Hollywood. Frank Sinatra, glamour, politics, and underworld rumors. Frank Sinatra, one of America's most revered vocal talents, also claimed a reputable film career, earning critical acclaim for From Here to Eternity. Yet Sinatra's outer sheen often clashed with talk of mafia ties. His FBI file was reportedly thick, pointing to friendships with known mob figures like Sam Giancana. Allegedly, those connections opened doors in Las Vegas and influenced labor unions. Sinatra's political alliances also raised eyebrows. He supported John F. Kennedy's presidential campaign, later mingling with politicians and rumored mobsters behind closed doors. Though never convicted, whispers followed him for decades. To fans, he embodied a cool sophistication. To skeptics, he personified Hollywood's cozy relationship with underground power. In his saga, star status, entertainment hubs, and backroom deals formed an unsettling triangle. Lionel Atwill, the parties too shocking for public eyes. Known for austere, commanding roles in horror films like Mystery of the Wax Museum, 1933, and Son of Frankenstein, 1939, Lionel Atwill radiated gravitas on screen. Away from it, he faced a legal storm when authorities probed a rumored risque party he hosted. This gathering allegedly involved group activities well beyond the norms of the day. Atwill was charged with perjury for lying under oath about the scandal. Although he escaped long prison sentences, the episode stained his reputation, and big studios shied away. His ordeal epitomizes the chasm between Hollywood's official moral codes and the wild indulgences secretly taking place. When his exploits became public knowledge, the same industry that had once applauded his talents quickly ostracized him to safeguard its collective image. Chico Marx, gambling away the laughs. Chico Marx, a beloved member of the Marx Brothers, spread joy in classics like Duck Soup, 1933, and A Night at the Opera, 1935. Fans treasured his silly accent and lively piano interludes. However, Chico was also dogged by a serious gambling habit. Rumor had it he borrowed large sums from seedy lenders and sometimes performed dubious favors to clear those debts. Though he never faced dramatic criminal scandals, his behind-the-scenes financial struggles were an open secret. Even with his comedic genius, Chico constantly risked trouble, illustrating how destructive habits could corrode a star's personal life. The studios mostly turned a blind eye as long as he showed up to deliver the laughs. Chico's example is simpler than some. It shows that not every scandal made headlines yet still gnawed at the foundation of stardom. Spade Cooley, behind the smiling violin. Spade Cooley, billed as the king of Western swing, exuded family-friendly charm with his fiddling and upbeat Western music. Occasional film appearances bolstered his cowboy persona. In 1961, however, Cooley was convicted of beating his wife so severely that she died. The brutality jarred even hardened spectators. How could the man with toe-tapping tunes hide such rage? He landed in prison, where he later died of a heart attack before fully regaining freedom. As his wholesome mask was ripped away, the public grappled with a violent reality lurking beneath. Cooley's case was special because it was no rumor. It was a proven crime with tragic consequences. It showed the extremes of a system that readily embraced a performer's crafted image, yet often missed or ignored signals of genuine danger. Joan Crawford, glamour and rumored cruelty. Joan Crawford soared from tough beginnings to A-list stardom in films like Grand Hotel, 1932, and Mildred Pierce, 1945. She projected fierce ambition both on and off the screen. Still, allegations trailed her for decades. The most damaging arrived in Mommy Dearest, written by her adopted daughter, Christina Crawford, alleging harsh punishments and explosive anger. Many within Hollywood had heard whispers of Crawford's controlling behavior, from firing staff over minor slights to clashing with co-stars. Another rumor claimed she'd once posed for explicit photos that MGM buried to protect her image. While some fans saw her as a driven perfectionist, others believed she was manipulative and abusive. True or not, Crawford's name became a magnet for stories about old Hollywood's hidden dysfunction and the friction between public persona and private temperament. Clark Gable, rumored hit and run in A King's Reign. Clark Gable, dubbed the King of Hollywood, reigned supreme after hits like Gone with the Wind, 1939, and It Happened One Night, 1934. His roguish grin and confident swagger melted hearts worldwide. Yet an enduring rumor suggests that in 1945, Gable might have been involved in a hit-and-run accident where someone was seriously injured or killed. MGM, as the story goes, swiftly intervened, paying hush money to bury any scandal. Though never confirmed, the notion of Gable evading justice persisted. It wasn't his only alleged brush with impropriety. He was rumored to enjoy wild nights and multiple affairs. But the studio system shielded him at every turn, preserving his money-making allure. Gable's rumored transgressions highlighted how major studios sometimes acted as fixers, keeping their stars' images clean, no matter the ethical or legal cost. Carl Alfalfa, Switzer, child star gone astray. Carl Alfalfa. Switzer was the lovable scamp from our gang, also called the Little Rascals. His distinctive cowlick and tuneless singing made 1930s audiences giggle. But adulthood brought challenges. The roles dried up, and he found it hard to hold steady work. Some claimed he ran low-level scams, such as recovering lost dogs for reward money, dogs he may have taken himself. In 1959, an argument over unpaid debts turned violent. Switzer was shot dead under murky circumstances. Debates raged about self-defense or possible foul play. His tragic end illustrated how child fame could be a double-edged sword. After outgrowing his on-screen cuteness, he faced limited opportunities. Without support, he descended into petty crime and desperation, a bleak glimpse into how fleeting the spotlight could be. A friendly witness, a ruthless choice, Adolphe Menjou personified refinement in classics like The Front Page, 1931, and A Star is Born, 1937. Behind his polished style, Menjou took a starkly different role in real life. During the House Un-American Activities Committee, HUAC investigations, he became a willing informant, naming industry professionals he deemed communist sympathizers. His testimony helped ignite blacklists that destroyed careers. Some lauded him as patriotic, others viewed him as opportunistic, shielding himself while sacrificing colleagues. Either way, Menjou's choice fed a frenzy of paranoia, heightening an environment where mere suspicion could be as damning as proof. His story reinforces how deeply fear cut into Hollywood, turning it into a breeding ground for betrayal. Robert Mitchum and the marijuana scandal. Robert Mitchum brought a unique, understated intensity to classics like Out of the Past, 1947, and The Night of the Hunter, 1955. He exuded rebellious charm, which simultaneously thrilled fans and provoked moral guardians. Then in the late 1940s, Mitchum was arrested at a house party for marijuana possession, a severe infraction in that conservative era. Tabloids portrayed him as the embodiment of Hollywood corruption, yet Mitchum only served a brief sentence. Soon afterward, studios launched a skillful PR campaign to resurrect his image. The public's memory proved short, and he returned to leading roles in no time. Where lesser-known figures might have been blackballed, Mitchum's star quality brought him renewed success. His story demonstrates how effectively a powerful studio system could redirect scandal, transforming a crime into a momentary stumble. Robert Taylor, blacklisting to protect a pretty profile. Robert Taylor, celebrated for roles in Camille, 1936, and Waterloo Bridge, 1940, appeared gentlemanly and composed. However, like Menjou, he testified before HUAC, identifying people he believed harbored communist views. Contemporaries argued studios might have pressured him to cooperate. Regardless of motive, his willingness to name names helped ruin others' livelihoods. After testifying, Taylor's career continued smoothly. Yet his involvement left fans questioning how someone so admired for integrity on screen could participate in Hollywood's witch hunt. This era exposed a different facet of corruption, wielding political accusations to safeguard personal ambitions. Taylor's example shows that silence could be as damning as speech, and testifying, even under duress, resulted in dire consequences for the accused. Tom Neal, violent actions, tragic consequences. Tom Neal carved a niche in film noir, most famously for Detour, 1945. He exuded a moody intensity well-suited to dark thrillers. Off-camera, that intensity flared into real-life aggression when he badly beat fellow actor Franchot Tone over a love triangle. Yet Neal's troubles only worsened. In 1965, he was convicted of manslaughter after shooting his wife. He claimed it was an accident, but the court saw otherwise. Imprisoned, Neal emerged to find his career irreparable. His narrative diverged from many rumored incidents. It was stark, proven violence with deadly results. Neal's fall underscored how genuine criminality sometimes lurked behind a polished persona. Unlike bigger stars whose studios might protect them, Neal lacked that safety net and tumbled into near-forgotten status, a dire reflection of Hollywood's willingness to discard the less profitable. Edward G. Robinson, mob roles, communist rumors. Edward G. Robinson enshrined himself in film lore by portraying gangsters in Little Caesar, 1931, and Key Largo, 1948. In real life, he was an erudite art collector, far removed from the thugs he played. Yet HUAC's anti-communist drive implicated him, and he faced repeated questioning. He was never formally blacklisted, but his career momentum slowed. Meanwhile, some fans confused his screen persona with potential mob ties, aided by rumors of dinners with actual criminals. Whether or not those rumors were true, the climate of suspicion was enough to bruise his reputation. It highlighted how quickly an actor could fall under a shadow if there was any hint of impropriety, be it political or criminal. Robinson survived these storms, but they remain a testament to Hollywood's precarious balancing act between fame and suspicion. From Roscoe Arbuckle's ill-fated party to Carl Switzer's tragic end, these 20 stories expose Hollywood's hidden machinery of cover-ups, hush money, and relentless public scrutiny. Beneath the glitz, stars struggled with scandals that mixed fact and rumor, and a powerful studio system often decided who survived and who fell. This era proves how easily fame can twist morality and bury truths. The industry's well-oiled PR engines kept audiences focused on bright lights while shadows remained safely out of sight. Even now, we see echoes in modern controversies, new platforms, same age-old patterns. If you found these tales revealing, don't miss our next video. We'll dive even deeper into the secrets that shaped Hollywood's golden sheen and its lasting legacy.